Welcome back to Red Hood and the Outlaws right here at Comicstorian, your home for audio dramas of your favorite comic books, read to you by me, Benny, your narrator. This is a part of the era of Red Hood and the Outlaws that happened during the New 52. It's what Red Hood was doing during the Death in the Family storyline, which is a plot that came out in which Batman and the whole Bat family battled against the Joker. While there is some crossover with the Death in the Family event, Red Hood and Red Robin were battling against the Joker in different issues that were not covered on our channel before. When we last left off, the Joker kidnapped Red Hood and put him into a deep, dark cell with someone else that he couldn't figure out. If you enjoy this type of content, please consider giving this video a like, and let's pick up where we left off. A short while later, Jason realizes that it was Timothy Drake, Red Robin, and as they lay in their cell, there is a knocking sound and the Joker asks, "Hello? Everyone decent? I certainly hope not." Without an answer, the Joker kneels down, telling them, "How can they still be unconscious? They just don't build bat brats like they used to." Joker bursts out laughing, yelling, "I know what to do! It's going to be awe-inspiring! Why is it that I'm at my best when there's only an audience of one?" Joker rushes out of the room, locking it down before heading to the control panel and asking, "Which one is the spotlight?" He pushes a button, and water dumps down on Jason and Tim, and the two quickly get up coughing from the intake of water. Jason says, "Sorry for dragging you into this, Tim. The pasty-faced freak made this personal, but there's no way that he's leaving this place alive." And Tim tells him, "You know, this may come as a shock, but this isn't about you. Not entirely, at least. If we act rash, we both lose." The screen turns on and Joker yells, "Front and center, boys! You better turn around for your super secret surprise!" As the two turn back, they see two men tied to a pipe, one with a sign that says #1 Dad, and another one that says Deadbeat Dad. Joker bursts out laughing again, shouting, "I love family reunions! Now, normally I wouldn't spell this part out, but since you're so slow, we're gonna play a game. We have Red Hood's dad and Red Robin's dad, and there's going to be some red spilling out of one of them. I'll let you decide which is going to live and which is going to die." Tim asks if he really thinks that this is going to work. What are they supposed to do, fight each other to the death for his entertainment? You're crazier than... But before Tim could finish, he hears a click of a gun, and the cold steel is pressed against his head. Tim sighs, asking, "Is there any wonder why I'm your only friend, Jason?" Tim spins around, kicking the gun out of Jason's hand, telling him, "We have to work together." And Jason asks, "Why would I risk my father's life?" The two go back and forth, hitting each other, and Joker begins clapping, telling them, "Ha! This is it! Cain and Abel! Kirk versus the Gorn! It's the I versus the E, except the C!" Tim then hits Jason, yelling, "Your father died in prison." And Jason hits back, telling him, "The Joker brought my mother back from the dead. What's to say that this isn't it too?" As Tim falls, Jason pins him down with the gun, telling him, "I'm sorry. I can't take any chances, Tim." Suddenly, there's a flash of light out of Tim's suit, and Tim leans up, knocking Jason back, and the two go right back at it again. As Tim hits, he realizes that Jason is too stubborn to get knocked out, which means he'll have to play dirty to win this. He uses his wings, swinging them like a blade, cutting into Jason's mask. He then tells him, "I could kill you right here, and you'd have no idea. But that's not something that we do." And Joker yells, "Come on! Find a way to do that or both men are going to die!" As Tim goes in for another swing, he swings around, slashing at the glass divider that holds their fathers. Jason then opens fire, unloading his magazine into the Joker. As Jason holsters his gun, he asks, "How did you know that those weren't our fathers?" And Tim says, "Because the man that the Joker claimed was his had a discoloration on his wrist, not matching his actual father." So the two laugh, and the Joker begins to cough when suddenly gas shoots out of the bullet wounds in his body. Jason shouts, "The Joker knew that I would shoot him! We have to! However, as the gas fills their lungs and they collapse, a shadow stands over them. It all started low at first, but the voice in his head can get louder. The Joker yells, Look! Wake up and see this amazing setting that we have here! Step into the light!" Batman begins to open up his eyes as he sees Damian, Nightwing, Batgirl, Jason, and Tim all bound with bags over their heads. The Joker laughs. "Ta-da! Dinner is served!" Batman tries to force his way out of his bindings, but the Joker tells him, "Don't worry, they're all just bound and gagged. They've kept me entertained, though. talking to them for hours. Batman struggles, telling him, I'm going to destroy you for this. And the Joker laughs. Not so fast. I wouldn't want you to get up just yet. After all, don't you smell something, Bats? After a few moments, Batman tells him, I can smell gasoline. And Joker tells him, that's right! There are flints underneath the throne. The moment you try to get up, the sparks will fly. Now, you could stand up, leave the table at any point during the meal. In doing so, you'll burn away all the shame that you brought on to these kids. But first, let's have a look at what's for dinner. Oh, Jeeves! Mr. Pennyworth! Batman begins to ask, what did you do? And an infected Alfred crawls out of a hole, and the Joker says, he's right here, itching to help. Batman lets out a sigh of relief, and Alfred walks over with a rope and pulls it down. All of the bags that are covering everyone's heads are pulled off, and each of them has bloody bandages covering their faces, only exposing their eyes. Batman looks at Horror, asking, what did you do? And the Joker tells him, I've just dressed them up for the part, or rather, I've undressed them. Mr. Pennyworth, would you please serve us? So Alfred begins to take off the domes on each of the plates, and inside of them are the faces of each of the Bat family members staring right back at them. The Joker tells him, oh, I hope you like it. I made it with lots of love. Batman struggles, asking, how could you? And the Joker tells him, oh, it was quite simple. Just a little slice here, pull a bit there, chill and serve. 30-minute recipe, Bats. Joker walks over, leaning on the table, asking, why is it that you have never killed me? Batman tells him, because you'd win. And the Joker bursts out laughing. I love that one, because I'd win. But what if Batman killed the Joker and no one knew? It could certainly happen. But would Batman be able to bear that cross? Joker then takes out a small booklet stating, I wrote this love letter. It's a backwards map. It's a hit list, and I'd read it over and over again. It's the kids here who are making Batman afraid of what he's taken from them in the moment of their weakness. But he doesn't have to be afraid anymore, because the Joker's here now. I've carried out Bat's orders. The nightmare can finally end. Now who are we going to let do the honors? Joker takes on a match, striking it, telling him, go on, stand up! Or I'll toss the match, Bats. After a few seconds, Batman kicks back in his chair, igniting the gas, running from the tables, telling him, if you knew me so well, then you would have realized that no one knows the caves better than me. Batman frees himself, tossing a small explosive up to the ceiling, and as it explodes, the water comes pouring in, putting out the fires. Joker looks at his work destroyed, not smiling. That's not funny. Batman quickly begins to untie everyone, asking if they're all right, and Nightwing tells him, just hurry up and go after the Joker. We're gonna be fine. Batman says that he can't. He can't leave them alone again. And Nightwing says, it will be fine. Go, Bruce. So Batman turns to follow the Joker deeper into the caves, but as he leaves, the cat Joker has had sitting on the table begins to beep. It meows and then explodes with gas, and everyone begins to breathe it in. And as Nightwing recovers, he asks, everyone okay? But up ahead, Batman turns a corner and Joker leaps out of the shadows with an axe. Batman catches it as Joker yells, you just had to ruin it, didn't you? Batman grabs the axe, ripping it out of the Joker's hands, telling him, enough! No more dances, no more quarreling, no more of anything, Joker. Back at the entrance, the gas is spreading, infecting all of the kids, and they all quickly begin to beat into each other, laughing as they can't control themselves. Meanwhile, back with Batman, he cracks Joker in the back of the head with a crowbar, and the Joker yells, ow! Are you really going to let them die back there? Batman walks forward, telling him, no, I have faith in them. I've made them stronger. Joker's smile fades and he begins to yell, liar! I know that they don't make you anything! Maybe this will help reveal your true self! He pushes a button and acid sprays out of the flower onto Batman's mask, and he begins to run away again laughing. But after only a few moments, the Joker comes to a waterfall. As he jumps off of it, Batman grabs him, telling him, no, not that way. But how about it? Maybe tonight I will go farther than I've ever gone before. How about I stop this game right here, right now, once and for all, Joker? Joker begins to laugh. Do it! I dare you! You never! Batman leans in, telling him, I'll do you one better. I broke the spell. I finally learned the truth. All of it. Your name, your history, who you really are. If I had to choose what family, I choose them. Now listen close, Joker. Your real name is... Joker begins to slam his palm into the Batman's mouth with an electric buzzer, pushing himself off, falling into the depths below. A short time later, Batman brings everyone back home, treating them for the toxins that they ingested, and everyone goes back to as it should. But as Batman walks into the cave, the screen on the computer shows an image of the Joker, still with the identity unknown text beneath it. The computer then reports that it found the isotope in the Joker toxin, element 105, dubnium. Batman stares for a moment and asks, does it have any other names? And the computer responded with honium. Batman then asks for the original element symbol, and the screen changes to HA. As the days pass and everyone is recovering from the Joker toxin, Jason notices Damian sitting all by himself outside. He walks outside stating that he should get ready to leave, and Damian asks, who cares? Jason laughs off the comment, telling him that he just wanted to say, good job back there. Damian scoffs, telling him that it means a lot coming from someone of such mental health like him. Jason takes a seat at the bench and tells Damian that they've all been through what he's going through. He reaches out to touch Damian, but he shifts away, asking, weren't you leaving? A few moments later, a minivan comes screeching to the entrance outside of the house, and Arsenal gets out stating, and I thought Oliver Queen had megabucks. Dude! Can't imagine what the rent is like with all these bat safe houses. As Jason gets ready to respond, Starfire flies up, grabbing on, and Jason says, yeah, it's nice to see you too. Starfire pulls Jason into the air, asking, where have you been? We feared the worst. And Jason tells her that he had some family things that he needed to take care of. Can you, put me down? As she does, Jason motions to the door, asking if she would like to come inside. There's a few things that he needs to get. She turns away, stating that it might be best if she waited outside. Jason walks back inside, asking, are you serious? Are you not even going to say hello to her? Nightwing looks at him. The Joker opened up some very old wounds. Should be more understandable why I'm not close with anyone, right? Jason turns to leave, telling him, maybe. Or maybe that girl out there is more amazing than you give her credit for. Nightwing stops him. Don't judge me. Just promise to watch over her, Jason. Jason walks out, telling him, oh, I will. Every day of my life. Back outside, Jason sees Arsenal and Damian fighting, and he asks, really? And both of them point at each other, shouting, he started it! Once inside, Jason says his goodbyes, and Batman sits in the cave, stating that he thought that there weren't going to be any goodbyes. Jason says that he bumped into the big guy the other day. Said Batman vouched for him. Batman doesn't even turn to look at Jason, but he tells him, I'll never approve of your methods, but I cannot argue with your results, Jason. I learned a long time ago that I can't control everyone. Jason takes off his helmet and begins to walk back upstairs, but then he stops for a moment. He turns back and he says, I have to know, the things the Joker said, were they true? Did he actually create me? Batman tells him, no, Joker didn't make you. Batman didn't either. You made yourself. As Jason heads back upstairs, he puts his helmet back on, but suddenly, it latches itself closed. A hologram of the Joker appears and he shouts, you played a joke on me, Jason! Only I'm not laughing. You were supposed to be one of my greatest masterpieces from start to finish. But you were too stubborn to stay dead. So here's what we're going to do. You're so determined to be your own man? Fine, let's start you with a clean slate. Just then, the Joker toxin is released into the Red Hood mask, and as much as Jason tries, he can't take it off his head. Batman comes running up the stairs, catching Jason as the gas is fading, and the mask loosens. He pulls it off while everyone comes running in, and Damian asks what just happened, but Batman can't respond. All he can do is cry as he holds Jason with his face burned. Later, as Jason lays on a slab of stone, he can hear something nagging in the back of his mind. A low ha-ha. But it gets louder, and it gets louder. Lightning strikes, and the Joker is looming over Jason, shouting that he must really be obsessed with being alive. Too bad you're dead! Wiped that pretty pink brain matter off the crowbar onto my finely pressed purple suit. Joker brings up a massive fist down, destroying the altar that Jason was lying on, barely missing him, and that's when Jason notices something in the rubble. He pulls out a bundle of dynamite and he leaps into the air, shoving it into the Joker's mouth, telling him that he's not going through that again. Never! The explosion launches Jason back to the ground, nearly knocking him unconscious, but as he stands, he tells Dukra, thanks for the help. But she says that there's nothing that she can do to undo the damage that he's done to this place. He looks around at the mound of dead friends, including those of the Bat family, and Dukra goes on telling him, that after he left the All Cast, he continued to let his life be defined by the actions of one man. He became a killer, lashing out to people who may or may not have deserved it, and eventually he hurt all of those that he cared for. In a way, how is he different from the Joker? Jason pulls out the All Blades, telling her whether she's a distant memory or not, she will never compare him to that monster. He is nothing like the Joker. Duker points at a tree, and on it, hanging by their necks, are Arsenal and Starfire. Jason falls to his knees, stating this isn't possible. And Duker tells him that he cannot live in the past and the present at the same time. Not without one reaching out to destroy the other, he has to let one of them go. The closest to him will suffer the most. How long did he think that he could continue to live and thrive in an inferno of rage that burns within his heart? They love him, with their own hearts wide open, yet all he gives in return is the hollow actions of a man going through the motions. Soon the bodies of those around Jason begin to reach out, grabbing onto him, pulling him under, until finally, someone grabs his hand. Batman pulls as hard as he can, telling Jason that it's time. It's time to come back home, for good. And as things change, Jason takes off the helmet, stating that there is no place for him. He tried to be a good soldier, even a part of Batman Inc., and he failed him again. Batman tells him that there's just too much talk about the blame between the two of them. There always has been. They have to let things go. They both have done things that they regret, but the one thing that he will never apologize for is taking a chance on Jason. In the real world, Batman is sitting by Jason's side as Jason opens up his eyes. He begins to tell him, I'm sorry, but Batman tells him, shh, shh, and he embraces Jason. And that concludes Red Hood and the Outlaws New 52 Volume 3. What's next? Well, honestly, I don't remember. I got to read that book. So if you want to find out what's happening next, then don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Hit that like button. Volume 4 is going to be coming next Sunday. I hope you guys are enjoying this. And don't forget, you can get early access if you go on over and sign up to our Patreon, patreon.com/Comicstorian. For only $2, you get early access to all of our videos. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time right here.